This is Martin Lynch. I've shaved my head and the light is pretty good in here, even though my face is not in sync. It doesn't matter. So I'm in the Kim's room. She's going to be silent. I'm here. We're going to work on a business, how we can make some money, and basically we're going to do it through the grassroots of the structure of how everything is supposed to be held together, to fall in place, to work as being optimal. So I've got this book, and it's basically for Trump. So classified top secret, only for the eyes of the chosen, code name in the day of the second coming. In God we trust, top over secret. And then it goes into what it means. T for time, O for, I can't even read that, but okay, so this is for Trump. So it's supposed to be handwritten just for him. And by the way, this is a joint, but it's only leaf. Poor man's weed. So topics to study, Mr. Trump, or people reading this for Mr. Trump, or now just everyone who can hack a computer. So as Putin would say, even a 4-year-old. So your 4-year-old could be hacking someone's IP address and looking at their information. How scary. What is the legality of there being an insurance policy for basically not an uproar? So, okay, retain Martin's quote, and that is the quote being, you've got to be shit to be good, or at least at the start. Or maybe when we hesitate, we don't express because it's not going to meet above the bar that we want it. But all we have to do is express how we feel and build from there. So build from the baseline. So sometimes you've got to be shit to be good, and it's only other people's opinions or an interpretation. Study into CE5 meditation, where Dr. Stephen Greer goes into it. So CE5 meditation is contact of the fifth initiative through meditation to contact UFOs, extraterrestrials. Also, I'd like you to study into quantum physics, quantum energy, quantum entanglement. And then there's to do some side study into Hitler's studies on twins and genetics. How genetics and twins had a similarity, and basically states that if one got sick, one was affected. Study, are we in a simulation? A simulation. Now, my YouTube channels. One is Martini Ravioli, is my UFO ET one, which old mate from the barracks, forgot your name, but you know why I represent Australia so strong, why I've done this is through basically the braveness and a part of you being within me, of us mutually respecting each other, and to know that I know you're working on it, and basically we will get it, so we all live to 250, so don't you worry. Second channel was the Global Think Tank. That's right, the Global Think Tank. No one else has got it but me, the Global Think Tank. Then thirdly is Get Some News Tasmania, but SUM, because we give you the facts and the figures. And do some studying into Dr. Stephen Greer. And also you could study the Black Knight Pepsi clip. The purpose of this book, to be handwritten so no other country can capture it, other than the satellites that read it now, or when you read it. But don't worry about that. It's going live. It's going live on the air. To share my art to you, Mr. President Donald Trump, as a gesture of goodwill. To share my feelings and advice. Just because it's good old school fuck technology and it's handwritten. And to show you my handwriting as if it is of a 3rd grade, LOL, how shit is my handwriting. And my spelling. Share my movie script to you, for the purpose of making this book a handwritten testament of our history's new future, to prove we can create history For the purpose President Trump feels happy and secure, no one but himself and me know about what it covers, but too late. Everyone's going to know what it's going to cover, but it's alright, because when I get around to writing them a top secret run, it's going to be even better than this. So to be back and forth book for my writings to Mr. Trump, and him to put input and send it back. So, Dear President Donald Trump, I'm going to get into the movie script, because there I just say that I love him, and I do love him as a person, because I think he's done an outstanding job, and I've done a lot of writing. Okay, so I've got a movie script. I want to work for you, Mr. Trump. That's right. It would be an absolute honour to work for you and know you personally, and I look forward to the day that we can shake hands and say that behind closed doors no one's got to know to the degree about this, but I love it that you know about me, and I love it that I know about you. So let's just say, fuck the idiots out there. Now for my advice. Now, I know Australians, a lot of them, not always the smartest people, love watching TV. Through different elements of back in the day in Tassie, all you did was go to the video store. A lot of people are moulded around certain things like that. It was an infiltration of basically dulling us down, while at the same time getting people off track to not be their full potential. What is ego? Ego is not to what you think it is, instead of looking it up just to say it defines you. What's wrong with saying what defines you, or what is you? But ego to me, if I didn't look up the dictionary, even though I can't bring it to my attention now, is that ego is sort of superficial and sort of, you know, boasting and sort of walking around, not sort of, but, you know, you've got to have a shadow. And if you shallow, some people that have got egos are shallow. But so basically, the movie industry, yes, Coke, wow, awesome, they got on it. Some of the best actors are on the Coke. But one thing is, I was in a movie called Golden Age. It wasn't finished, and I didn't read the whole movie script. And basically, I was a superhero, and I came down, and I was infinite, but became finite, as in letting myself get killed, even though I could live forever or whatever if I didn't get killed. But I was to set if I got it right, a message. And it was around Hitler's era, and you know, the best thing about acting is don't act, and you've got to, you know, I had to kiss this girl, but I hadn't even sort of read the bloody I had too much bullshit going on. Yes, I did some scenes good. Whoa, do you know how hard it is to be able to remember like a 4 line, 4 paragraph bloody like phrase, and try and, you know, whoa, you know, it takes a lot out of you. But you don't act to put on a sense that you're faking anything. I think that the new conscious realm that we're going into, that is, people are going to want to get into good acting, to people that are like, whoa, got soul, got sort of, how they pronounce the word just makes it more meaning. And it will be a thing that people will have to pull their finger out or retire, because it's only going to be the good people. And all it is reflecting an energetic representation of a connection, of a scenario, of an environment. And everything should be art. Everything should be sort of, you know, worth, and it should be in the arts. And that's how we overcome confrontation and people having a go at us. Just sort of don't have a go at them. Don't at the end do all good at the start and then at the end have a backhanded comment. Don't anyone do that bullshit. So, you know, Yes, a lot of us can be influenced in Australia as well as America by a movie, which I think we should take on. Probably a lot more than somewhere from the Middle East. If someone said, come watch a movie and it was done by typical Hollywood, which is shit acting, they would look at it, even if it was had, um, you know, like, um, it had been sort of the text in their own dialogue language came up for them to understand, would say that was a shit movie. And, I think that a lot of people that are intelligent, or you basically, you look into the horizon and they've learnt a lot. Like there's some people years ago, but they're a lot sharper eyes from different countries. And that's because they haven't been brainwashed by the idiot box. But this movie I'm going to talk to you about is going to is going to be absolutely off the show. So the movie is to have 3 ratings. So it's going to be produced as a G rating, as an MA rating, as an R rating. G is to be a family movie, and you have a lot of, well, all G-rated scenes. But the reflection of the other people is to be so innate that for the conscious they see it for how it is, with minimal words said to it being outclassified. But for the people that know, they just go, ah. So it's to be go-lucky, happy-go-lucky, to be optimistic and heart-warmed and humorous. MA, so 15 plus, is to be 70% of the G-rated scenes from the G-rated category, but to touch on the dark side. R is to be uncut, still 70% G-rated, so the R one will just go longer, but show a whole new level of darkness, but like the whole 3 ratings, finish on a good note. I personally like to hire actors with mental illnesses with talent. Once the movie script is finished, I will, after, slightly change it, as I don't want anyone to know the final ending. So there will be a few scenes top secret in knowing, just like Star Wars, where Anakin didn't know Darth Vader was his father. The movie is to show the past, is to show the present, and it's also to show the future of a functional and positive scenarios of what can, could, should, and what definitely should happen. There is a twist at one of the scenes where the ETs and an AI, an artificial intelligence, form a conclusion out of the collusion to go back in time to save the species from extinction as World War III breaks out. Holy shit, World War III breaks out, finally on Earth. The days are here. Now this scene of World War III and the movie, and this is actually the moneymaker for the movie, how we first target our audience, and it draws in the viewers to watch it, the R-rated and the MA one. It shows every known possibility that could happen, and it sends shivers down everyone's spine to make it clear war is not the answer. Now, forever who reads this, so far, I've only had 3 attempts at writing this, each sitting about 25 to 30 pages, A4 pages, as in this size. So if you're American, because I've had Americans go, what the hell is A4? And I'm like, well, fair enough. It hasn't touched as many people as the past yet, but I need assistance. I've done a lot in the past, but we need to work out the present and the future. So I need you guys' help. So who am I wanting to get help on this movie? I'm wanting Trump to help me. I'm wanting his advisors to help me. I'm wanting the CIA to help me. I'm wanting the Australian Police Department to help me. I'm wanting ASIS, Australian Security Intelligence Services, to help me in Australia, obviously because it's Australian. And possible Mr. Putin, as long as that wouldn't cause too much uproar. But at the end of the day, hey, I would probably like President Xi to help me. I would probably like him to help me. But guess what? Having any of those players on top of Trump actually stopped it actually from happening, I just say, hey, me and Trump are just going to do it, alright? So I can wait around, but I'm not going to. This is for me and Trump. So basically, no one's stopping this. Even if it's the CIA, if they're like, oh, we can't work out when we're going to do this because we haven't worked out what we're going to do yet. It just changes. We don't have a definitive answer of how we're going to take this. And it just gets proposed. I was just like, nah, I want you guys' help, but we're just going to have to go out and we can make another second series with your help after once you get your shit together. So now, for every entity alive today, it's not going to show them in a bad light, as in that entity to the faults in their life to make them not spend time on it. It will introduce some made up entities, parties, that will have the wrongdoers. So it will point the finger at other people. It will show the madness of Hitler having too many pipes. It will show World War One. It will show World War Two. And even through a certain family which actually funded both wars, World War One and Two. We won't put them in the limelight. We'll be nice to them. Why not to tarnish the alive baddies, Martin? ... Well, how would I like to have things pointed out and for everyone to know? I think that's bullshit. I'm not putting other people in that situation, am I? Am I? So, yeah, I think that you've got to have respect for me because I'm a nice person, but there is an evil side to me. And if I am a channeler and there's anyone out there that sort of wants to try and stir the boat, I tell you what, even though it wasn't your boss that is the one that's going to be scared telling you what to do for me to channel, I'll channel them anyway. And I'll put it out there. And it's not what I'm going to do. It's either what someone else is going to do to them or what they're going to do to themselves, which is none of my business. So basically the movie script. The movie script film book is to show past, present and future of Earth working in conjunction with our space brothers and sisters. The past is to show a computer simulation of the Big Bang and how that is, in our opinion, at the present, to our understanding of how it works out, our opinion of how we're going to project it. Speeding up for planets formating as gravity kicks in, and then speeding up to the ancients and the temples and the pyramids getting built, and for the first time, peace on Earth. In the ancient era, peace on Earth. The spaceships came down, and they went on, and then it goes on to today with all the wars and the corruption leading up to today, emphasizing and publicizing how there's no such thing as privacy, and in any way, underlined in any way, so no one has absolute privacy. Or maybe if you're in a pyramid, you might have absolute privacy. And every digital device, that's right, digital device is a form of spy capability. To cut the long story short, leading into the present, I myself eventually catch up with my long-time best mate Darren that's been away in the war. And he was a soldier, a SAS soldier, but now an ex-SAS soldier. In the past scenes, it shows both of our lives leading up to here. I myself, as a business owner, taking 5 years off to research and then making ET UFO contact, to Darren going to war over 8 years and for him coming back feeling quarter of the man he did before going. That's not right, that's not good, that's not what we want. The scene starts with Darren rocking up to our favourite nightclub bar. We used to go there together. For him to find me on the door working security. What the? It's a typical max capacity night, full of underground partiers and dance mad enthusiasts. Can't even do the beat. Darren walks up to a man that's solid and he perceives him as being a bodybuilder. Darren's taken back. And as the man turns around, both the man and Darren eyes make contact. This is when I used to do bodybuilding. I'm talking about when I used to bouncer halo. Darren realises that the solid unit is his best mate, Martin Lynch. Darren bursts out with a cry, "Fuck Lynchy, what shit are you on?" Marty blushes and looks uncomfortable and says, "Mate, what a hectic night. Hope you're well. Yeah, been training since you left. Figured out since my bodyguard is away fighting goat fuckers, I better do some hard work being able to handle myself." Darren looks off into air and blank for a moment and laughs. "Yeah, goat fuckers they are. That's for another time though, Marty." Marty says, "It's max capacity night, brother. The door lady's taken the stamp and they're not letting anyone else come in, and that's what I've been told by the owner. We've had a lot of people have get off their chops tonight and a lot of things happen. But I'll radio through to the bar and I'll get them to bring down the stamp, so just wait a second." As Marty reaches into his pocket and takes out his wallet and pulls out two 100 green bills, $100 bills, and gives it to Darren. Darren looks uncomfortable, looks away, turns to Marty and says, "Hey, I know you've turned into a big poofter, but I'm not going home with you, ha ha ha." Marty's like, "Hang on, bitch. I'm bigger than you are now. Don't be giving me that cheek." Darren's like, "I can't take your money, mate." Marty's like, "It's dirty money, mate." Darren's like, "Oh, what? Fuck, Marty, please tell me you're not pushing." Marty's like, "Ha ha, close, mate. ... I tell you, same thing, it will make you laugh. Last night was gay and lesbian night. They're all loaded, mate. It was an easy night, and I thought I'd have a laugh, and I had a bit of a laugh to myself as I had this conscious upload of what I was going to say to these people. So as I walked up to the bar, made eye contact with these guys, nearly falling off their chairs, I just had this conjunction of consciousness knowing of something that just made me laugh, and I thought I'd do it." Darren's like, "What's that? You really are a poof, Marty." Marty's like, "Hold on, let me tell you the story. I went up to five guys sitting together. They had a bit to drink, much to drink, and I worked out what to say to them, and I said, 'Hey fellas, I'll make you a bet. If I can make you laugh or blush, I want $50 each from you. But what I'll say will be remembered forever and ever, and you won't miss the money, and you'll have a good night.'" So they were like, "All right." So I walked up behind one of them and said, just before I said, "I better push your stool in before you fall off your chair and hurt yourself." Darren's like now on the floor, on the ground, laughing and crying at the same time. "Oh fuck, Marty, you brave cunt. Did you survive without getting rohypnoled and put in someone's boot and made someone's bitch for the night?" Marty's like, "Survived, made $250, kept 200, put the 50 on a tab for them, took to the bar lady and made their drinks half price." Darren said, "I don't know how, I don't even know why, Marty, you put yourself in that situation, or why you even do it. Hey, were they happy when they left?" Marty's like, "Yeah, man. I got offered a job by one of them. The other guy was a lawyer and gave me his card and said he wouldn't charge me, but it would cost me a 2-hour session at the gym a week." Darren's like, "Hey mate, if you give up this gig, you could become a used car salesman." Ha ha ha, fuck, I need a drink. Marty's like, "Enjoy it, don't piss it all up the wall. Oh, hey, what you up to after?" Darren's like, shrugs, "Whatever, it's not like I'm taking acid, LSD. My trip away was fucked. Hell, I better get into some shots to calm the PTSD. ... Hey Marty, love your work. You've never changed, mate, and you always make me laugh. Just what I needed, actually just what the doctor ordered, haha." Marty's like, "Oh Daz, there is a catch to the coin." Daz is like, "What? You want to push my stool in? Ha ha ha." I'm like, "Ha ha. Nah, different. Some fat bastard weighing 400 pounds shit himself at the same time as lost their bodily functions and walked and stuck themselves in between the toilet and the wall. And we can only pull him out by his shitted out legs." Marty winks. need the extra muscles to get them out. Darren's like, oh, you fucking cunt. I just lost my appetite to eat and I'm starving and I was just going to have a drink and then go get something to eat and now I can't eat and now I'm not going to be able to drink. Long story short, gig comes to an end and Marty gives Darren back his, goes back to Marty's place. Martin has a session, Darren passes and says he's had 27 beers and 9 shots under his belt and isn't feeling too good. And the bong would be the last thing he wants. Darren and Marty have a deep and meaningful, and Darren tells Marty about the dark side of war. Marty tells Darren about ET and UFO contact and how the ETs have healed my mental illness, and how we could go out camping one night and we could see if they could help him. Now, for the movie right up to now, I started when Darren made contact. So this was the first bit I made, as that bit at the top that I just read was my second attempt of the start, whereas this is further on, which I did at the start. So this is it. Long story short, Marty and Darren head out camping to try and make ET UFO contact. Darren and Marty are out under the stars, and they make contact with a UFO. And a ball of light comes down and separates into 3 orbs, which in turn turn into 3 ET beings as they just come into reality, pop into reality. They express to us both we can help the global situation and explain a certain IMC, that's right, an industrial military complex. They have developed a genetic cloning lab incorporating biomechanical engineering and quantum engineering and technology, and it's in a DUMB, a deep underground military base, where there's this mutant that's hooked up to a quantum computer. It's called the Beast, and the Beast has everyone on Earth's genetics spliced into it, and it's sharing our genetics, feeding off our energy, trying to work out our destination and our path to make sure we don't get there by making it reverse it in ones and zeros. And it is due to its genetic quantum connection that our every move will be seen due to it sharing this position. The short story is it leaks to Russia and China, and they're not fucking very happy at all, and neither is North Korea. And they have a talk, and hence it being in an IMC in America prior to Trump coming into power, they thought that they wanted to go to war. So they go to war, and fucking oath, it's not good. Power stations around the world start going out. They get cyber attacked. The power goes out. People's food goes off. People start going towards the farms and raiding the farms. The farmers are shooting the people. Basically, the locusts come in. People go mad. Some people working on this mission have been up for 1 million days. They run out of food because their fridge is gone. They try and find some Aboriginals. They can't find any Aboriginals. They're trying to say, how are we going to keep on going? How do we build a fire? And then they start shooting people, and then they so lost their marbles, they start eating the people because there's no other food. When will enough be enough? So at this stage, North Korea send off 7 nukes towards the IMC in America. And just guys, this is not what we want to happen. This is outlining how we make a movie to make money, to say this doesn't fucking happen. North Korea send off whatever. So the USA send off 30% of their warheads in one blast to Russia, China, and North Korea. And then everyone else goes in panic. And for the first time on Earth, all the nukes in the world are off the floor and are in full flight. Nukes are off the floor, nukes off the floor, all nukes off the floor. Holy, gotta get off the planet quick. So at this time, and it goes into a scene, a galactic meeting of ETs in despair, panic, distress, As this was not their intended outcome of making contact with Marty and Darren and the human race, we were their genetic project to bring the bloody universe together. As our DNA was a combination of every ET race in the Milky Way, and they didn't even get access to know about us. And when they did look, they just thought, you guys are ridiculous. We won't even bother to look at it anymore or care about it. You don't believe in God. You have no faith. You don't love animals. You can't even get in contact with nature. And you're all into bullshit TV. So basically, as we go on about the genetic fucking beast being splicing of all our DNA and being pissed off at it, we're actually a splice of every, basically, and every race on Earth is a subcategory of a category of aliens in our Milky Way, and us as a human race are actually different races. That if we wanted to have the strongest genetics, we would at least have every element from every different race in our genetics. So what breed are you, mutt? So basically, then, after all, the Milky Way's Joint Terrorism Conflict Resolution Think Tank Operational Survival Operation Unit form a conclusion that they need to go back in time. That in so breaking the universe's universal code of policy, procedure and law. And within an instant, a joint AI, artificial intelligence and biological entity hold a multiversal, that's right, a multiversal hearing on the matter of its multi-scaled situational scale of what it's worth, to the reason it holds, and to the merit it shows, and to the value it stands for. And the meeting starts. 17 and a half seconds later, the meeting is finished, the doors open and roll up, and a thick cloud of smoke pours out, and the verdict is concluded. The outcome of across the board of the combined realms formness of the intelligence produced this statement, and final conclusion after pure intent concentration was held. For the first time in 2018 years, present current point of projection of a single stream simulation. It is before the court. It has further insight into a matter never once brought to its attention. Before this day, the conclusion of output manifestation creation that every entity is stored on its separate server in a holographic universe. Each unit has within itself to have the capacity of God, and to be of God, and to be like God, and to be God. And it's been concluded that every subjective portrait of life is merely a simulation and merely an illusion, as time itself. A simulation of a positive approach to overcome the ego of the creator, and the matter of who the creator is of no relevance in obtaining, in essence, in knowing, and has been concluded our future's future as a whole, as every one entity had lost their memory, and had no recollection of retaining or even knowing past, present events, but held a stance of being a winner of a game, but couldn't remember what they had won past the point of winning. And they were put in the position of not being able to foresee what they actually accomplished. So the hunt was on for the understanding of what they had accomplished, past the point of winning. And we were only left with the memory of a glimpse of a meeting with the Creator at the end in reflection to the obstruction of the over-empowered ego, of the incapacity ability to be told something and be able to retain it and comprehend it and work on it and go forwards. So we could do this part of the movie, but then Trump gets into power, and that's when we're going to nail it. So we won't even have Obama in control. We could say that we put a reptilian in control, and we could spin it completely all around just to get it off track. So basically, the movie is to the movie that I'm going to make is basically, we're going to make it to make money, and the businesses that we want to start, we're going to have it in the movie. So if we're going to have restaurants, whether it be called Mick Lynch Burger, hanging for that burger, and we'll have it in the movie of what it's about, and we'll sell it so we can sell the franchise. But we're already in the movie setting it out what it is, so people that watch the movie will come in at least 5 times, even if the food isn't totally meeting the standard. Even if it totally meets the standard, they'll come in like 20 times in the first year. For anyone to go into a restaurant 20 times in 1 year is a good accomplishment. What you need to do is, if you're a fast food person that sells bullshit food, how about McDonald's? How you get, yes, 100% beef, but 100% the same genetics of 20,000 cows' DNA in one burger. What's the morale in that? Why don't McDonald's listen to this? This is the picture, right? You want to have fresh produce. You want to be uniquely different. To be able to patent the uniqueness to the degree of the store to change the food and to source the food. So every McDonald's is different. So right, fresh produce, lettuce from Tasmania, tomatoes from Tasmania. Not all hydroponic, maybe some from the spirituality. So it's got spirituality and it's come from the sun. There's probably ETs out there preying on our sun, going all pretty star, like, what can you tell us? And then you've got like different around the country putting in spices and stuff, but you just have to get them to document the recipe. So say, guys, try and follow the recipe, but tell us what the recipe is and put it into the system, and so that you can have many variations, but try and keep to it and keep on feeding us more recipes if you want. And basically we own the rights to it, but basically, so if there's some place that there's an Indian McDonald's, got the best herbs and spices and best tasting flavorings and everything, and there's Thailand ones with bloody, coconut milk or whatever works, you guys can patent that to then put it, but you're getting a portfolio of everyone to input it, of recipes that work, and you could get it up to a high degree to have a like a mystery shopper. I could be the mystery shopper, but you've got to stop selling shit food just because that's what you used to do. So over and out. And know that I hate when people had to go at Trump saying fast food. I don't know if that was supposed to be a joke, but I think Trump would be a lean man. I'm not going to give it away anymore, but it's just people are bitches. So fuck them, fuck all the bitches. And I don't mean women, I mean the little bitches that fucking have got nothing else to do but fucking be cunts. So over and out, and catch you later, and know that in the next 36 hours, I'm going to be working on this today, but I want to see in the next 24 hours Kim to come out, and I want to see something of the arts, whether it be Trump, Putin or Kim, something of the arts. A joke, a quote that you've invented, a statement that you want to come out and say that's uniquely yours, to say that your name goes against it and to be known in time, and it's to try and do something that is going to be recorded in history to go, wow, I said that, but I can't even remember what I say. See you guys.